Howdy, my name is Desiree Stevens, and today I will be showing you my Unessay project, which is a Minecraft model of Emily Dickinson's house. It'll take just a minute to load. I was able to use various pictures from the internet to recreate Emily Dickinson's home. She was a very famous poet, and I personally enjoyed reading her poems. Here I have her front entryway. This house is actually currently a museum that people are able to tour, so I was able to recreate what I thought was probably the most authentic version of what Emily Dickinson probably lived in. And here we have one of her poems. I put it on the patio because I felt like it was relevant. This one is from number 519, and it reads, "This is my letter to the world that never wrote to me. The simple news that nature told with tender majesty." I thought it was kind of interesting how she writes her poems and doesn't expect anything back from other people. As we continue to go around the house, this area has been turned into a parking area for visitors. And we see another one of the entryways. And along this path, I placed another poem. This one was number 359. "A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angle worm in halves and ate the fellow raw." It's kind of interesting how so many of Emily Dickinson's poems cover mundane topics, and yet they have relevance to the people who are reading them. As we continue back, we find another patio porch area. That's another entrance. This is actually the main entrance to the museum. As I continue around the corner, yet again another entryway. There are plenty of doors on this house. And here's yet again another one of her poems. This one was number 202. "Faith is a fine invention for gentlemen who see, but microscopes are prudent in an emergency." It kind of is talking about how sometimes smart people tend to overanalyze different things, and overall it's better to just have basic knowledge than to overanalyze situations. And one of the things I really liked about this house is there was a giant tree in the garden area, so I did my best to recreate it there, but trees are kind of hard to make in Minecraft. She also had 3 flower bed areas, so I recreated those here. And yet again, another poem. This one was number 112. "Success is counted sweetest by those who never exceed. To comprehend a nectar requires sorest need." So this is kind of talking about how those who don't succeed or don't view themselves as successful tend to be more envious and desire success more than those who were possibly born into success or just overall are more successful in life. Here's another angle of her house that I was able to recreate. Coming over here to the tree, we have yet again another poem. That was number 236. "Some keep the Sabbath going to church. I keep it staying at home, with a bobolink for a chorister and an orchard for a dome." I kind of tried to adopt a dome-like structure as I was making this tree, and it's just interesting how she suggested that the religious part of religion is not necessarily required to be in a physical building, but rather is a state of mind in wherever you bring it. And coming around to the front of the house again, this area right here actually has a patio now. Some of the pictures I saw, the patio was gone, but there's another patio right in this corner. And which brings us back to the front of the house, which I wanted to recreate. And here's one of Emily Dickinson's more famous poems, number 479. "Because I could not stop him, because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality." It kind of speaks of how whenever people die, they're not necessarily ready to go. And yet, Emily Dickinson suggests that there's that it's not necessarily the end, and rather it's just another trip that you're taking as depicted in the carriage. And I just thought it was really nice how it's kind of a more positive outlook rather than life being ripped away from you. And overall, this was Emily Dickinson's Residence. Thank you for watching.